I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Guys, no matter what, it's always better to go into the bye on a win than a loss. And I know this game felt like a loss almost to a lot of people. But if you want to remember what a loss is like, think back to the week before. We got our teeth kicked in by the Niners. You know, I heard a stat that the after playing the Niners, the last 16 out of 17 teams lost the following week. And I was concerned about that, but we won. And it was an ugly game, but it was an exciting game too. It was fun. Every game this season's been a blowout, so this was the first even game. This was the first game going into the fourth. We didn't know if we were going to win or lose. Every game we've won this season, we knew we were going to win, and every game we lost, we knew it was over. So you got to give them credit. They got the win. I know there's good, there's bad, and there's ugly in this game. One of the biggest gripes I'm hearing, and I'm feeling it too. In a lot of ways, our offense looks very stale, very, very old in a lot of ways. But I think that has to do with those first several games being blowouts. This team still didn't. Of course, no one played in the preseason, and it's just going to take longer because those were just weird games to start the season. I don't think they did our team any good, and I think it's starting to show. This bye week couldn't have come at a better time. They're going to need to figure some things out. Our tight ends have to get involved in this game. The end of the first half, I know that everybody's saying it was bad clock management, and I was upset too at the time when it happened. But the more I've thought about it, and the more I know that he did want to do that, so it wasn't bad clock management. It's just he probably didn't want to take another penalty. I know the first thing people are going to jump at is he was worried Dak was going to throw an interception, and that is always a concern. But he's been better this season. I think the bigger concern is a strip sack because what was he sacked 5, 6 times? Dak takes a lot of sacks. He's got to start getting rid of that ball. He's got to start throwing it away. But in that situation, it turned out to be the right call. So I get frustrated with McCarthy too, but that was probably the best thing to do. Holding calls, strip sacks, there was no protection going on there. But then again, that's pretty inconsistent, right? Because a few drives before he goes for it on fourth down on that horrible call, rather than taking the points there early in the game, he needs to get way more consistent. He's got a lot of things he needs to work on as well. And Dak, he's got to quit taking so many sacks. I know I just said it, but he's got to learn how to throw that ball away. Not to the other team, but just throw it away. But all in all, he had a good game. The defense had a good game. They're getting into this thing now where they're starting to give up points early. But they're shutting down. They held them to 17 points. That's enough to win against most teams in the NFL. There's been talk, too, about Kellen Moore missing. I don't think we miss him. I really don't. And this 20-17 score kind of tells me, hey, we are a good defense. We are a good team. Because what was one thing with Kellen Moore when he was here? He would light up the scoreboard against inferior teams, but when he played a decent team, a good team, they couldn't score. They couldn't score at all. Look at just look at the last couple of Niners games. Broncos, those games where they had those blowouts against those really good defenses. So that made me feel pretty good. There's also a trend going on right now with a lot of talking back to the press, the media. And if you watched any of my earlier videos, you'll know that I'm totally against that. I think it's stupid. But I haven't. It's the players doing it. I've always said it's other fans that are almost like children when they're saying, "Hey, look, you talked about him this way, but you're not talking about me that way," or vice versa, whatever. It's very schoolyard like. But I see some of these videos and I hear some of these creators talking about that stuff and being upset too. And with the whole Michael Parsons thing, him talking back to the press, and I'm thinking he probably shouldn't do that. But then all the comments are agreeing with him. So I don't know. Maybe it's just an age thing, but I don't like it. I just want to get out there and see these guys win, and just focus on that. I don't want to see. I don't know. It just seems counterproductive. It seems like a waste of time, honestly. And me personally, I really don't watch the the ESPNs of the world, things like that, because of that. It is slanted one way. So I don't take part in it. I don't give them my view. Screw them. But all that matters is here, home team. Those things that we talked about, they're going to have to work on this week. So we got the let's see. We got the Rams right after this bye, and that's going to be a tough game. I think they're also getting better as the season goes on. And after that, of course, we go to the Eagles. So we got a couple of tough games as soon as we come back. But they just need to take this time, figure it out. Let's enjoy football this weekend, guys. Baseball's going on. Go Rangers. I know they blew it last night. The series is 2-2, but I hope that they can come back and win. We'll be pulling for them. But let's just watch all these other teams. Let's it's kind of good for us, the fans, to have a bye ourselves, right? Because it is intense. We put a lot of time and effort, and no matter what we say too, when they lose, it kind of carries over to the next week, at least a couple of days. But let's just have fun out there, guys. Let's enjoy ourselves. And I appreciate you guys watching. And guys, we'll talk to you soon.